time, I actually hated my degrees. And I know hate is a strong word, but I'll tell you why I hated them. So, there are three broad categories of reasons that I've been able to identify. The first one is that I felt my degrees were holding me captive. They had become a sort of prison, and I was not being able to go beyond that cage to experiment with my life and my work the way I wanted to. And there were levels to this prison. The first was created by me in my own head. I was afraid of wasting my degrees. The second was the people around me who didn't want me to waste my degrees and were like, but you have all these qualifications, you can't waste them. And the third was the point of view of the recruiters when I went and tried to do something different and experiment. And they would look at my CV, and then after they looked at my CV, they couldn't look at me like I was just a normal candidate. So I went to audition to be a TV anchor, but all they wanted me to do was become a business news reader, and I was not interested in business. I went to a travel company, but they wanted me to handle their marketing side. So in all these ways, I found my CV overshadowing me because of my degrees and also holding me captive and not allowing me to experiment enough. The second set of reasons I hated my degrees was actually related to my awareness about why I had pursued those degrees in the first place. So, and I knew, so these reasons, for example, when I was studying very hard to get into IIT, I was doing it because I wanted to prove to a lot of people in my life that girls could do it. And just out of competition, I wasn't interested in the subject, and I knew that when I applied for IIM, it was because after my engineering I was lost. I didn't know what to do, and the person I thought I was in love with then was going there, and I just tagged along. Not very ennobling reasons, not the reasons I think people should be choosing their educational institutes for. And so I was really ashamed of it. I felt like this was a very dark, unevolved part of me that, I didn't want to be associated with anymore, or I wanted to just suppress and not think about. The third set of reasons I hated my academic degrees was because of the peer group that they had landed me into. I was now part of the elite IIT IIM group, and that was my comparison set. And I had classmates and batchmates, and we were all connected through, the internet and Yahoo and Facebook and everything, Yahoo groups. And people are making tons of money and globetrotting all over, and there's like success and glamour, and every time I knowingly or unknowingly went into comparing myself with them, it was a clear invitation to feel to have to blast my own self-worth out of any kind of possibility of feeling good about myself. And that constant comparison with this peer group didn't work at all for me. So that was the third reason I hated my degrees. Why am I sharing these? I'm sharing this because I I feel I've somewhat moved through these, and I don't hate my degrees anymore, and and I just want to share that experience in case it helps someone else who is finding that their degrees have become a burden for them in some way and they hate it, because we don't want to go through life hating anything about it, especially something that's so related to us as our degrees and our qualifications. So what helped me with the first one, the first reason where you're feeling trapped and a prisoner and it's not allowing you to experiment with your life, um, what helped me with that one was each time somebody, and this could be someone outside or the voice in my own head asking, you're going to, why are you wasting your degrees? If you do this, you will waste your degrees. I would say, well, would I rather waste my degrees or would I rather waste my life? And this is life calling to me when I want to experiment, and in a way that might have nothing to do with my degrees. And I'd probably waste my degrees rather than my life. And that helped me. So try playing, and questions can be very powerful in terms of breaking out of prison. So try playing with this question: would I rather waste my degrees, or would I rather waste my life? Um, with regard to the second reason I hate it, which is, related to feeling really ashamed about the reasons why I went to these places, these storehouses of knowledge, and my reasons had nothing to do with acquiring knowledge. Well, what helped me was to come to a point where of self acceptance, saying, okay, I made the choices I did from the awareness that I had at that point, and B, to see what can I learn from it. So now that I know that I made these choices because of reasons primarily around insecurity, competition, where can I work, and where can I work on these issues, and where can I face my own insecurities and my own need for competition and proving myself and all of that? Can I face it headlong so that I don't in the future make further choices which would also, be driven subconsciously because of these insecurities and the drive to just prove myself to somebody who I may or may not even care about. So that's how I made peace with the second one. Like, it's been a learning in how can I not make further mistakes like this. With regard to the third set of reasons, which is how I feel when I compare myself, used to compare actually myself with my peer group. What has really helped has to, again, just walk into the whole notion of comparison and see what is this game all about. And once you do that, at least for me, the whole logic and sense behind that whole game of comparing ourselves with others fell apart, because it helped me to acknowledge, and I truly believe we are multidimensional beings with multidimensional lives, and you cannot compare apples and oranges, and that whole comparison game is a very illogical framework that I was happy to drop. And that brought me peace. And so now I'm at a place where I don't hate my degrees anymore. In fact, I've even moved into actually looking at how these degrees have been a contribution for me, and how they can continue to be a contribution in terms of how can I leverage these degrees in the work that I do. And I'm finding lots of ways in which my degrees can actually contribute. So I'm a teacher now, and I get a lot of engineers and MBAs as my students, and I say, okay, how can I draw on my own experience to actually get into the heads of these students and know what they're going through, and then help them in small ways, not using the technical knowledge and the business knowledge, but I am using these experiences, and I don't feel like I need to shove those certificates away and feel about them anymore. I hope you found this video useful, and if you did, or if you know someone who could benefit from listening to this because they feel like their degrees are weighing heavily on them, then please do forward it to them. And I'd love to hear if it helped you. Thank you.